Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this video. I am happy that you're here. And guess what? As you can tell, there's a different background. You know why? Because I am in Florida, Orlando, Florida, for residency. I am seeking my master's in marriage and family therapy program. I'm so happy I'm here. And I have a little moment, and I wanted to come and share something with you guys that I stated before long time ago in my last video that I wanted to share. So today I believe this is the right time because I get that urge. Every time I get that urge, is the right time to speak. So here we are. I wanted to speak on something that God has brought into my attention, and it was teaching me. And I'm still learning. Still learning. I did not say I'm perfect. You can call my husband right now and he will tell you I'm not perfect. But I'm always open to share my journey because I know somebody somewhere is going through the same thing or haven't learned the same thing. Imagine I'm about to be 36 next month. So that means it takes me 36 years to learn this. And I don't want you to take another 36 years to learn it to get to this point. So I'm here to share it with you. Okay. God has took me in a journey to learn how to submit, how to respect. In my head, I was respecting my husband. I was submitting to my husband. But there are a few times when my husband mentioned that I wasn't respectful toward him or I wasn't submitting to him. Hey, I'm bringing my dirty laundry out. I don't have a shame, okay? But before I go into that, I want you to understand where I come from and why it took God to get me to this point. First of all, I am the oldest, okay? I grew up as a missionary with my family. We traveled across. We went to Darfur, Egypt, then US, and even within the US, I was traveling a lot by myself, meeting different people, gaining wisdom and understanding. Um, and then I was even in Africa, Uganda, um, and just really experiencing life from other culture or gaining wisdom from other people that I believe um, are usually hard for just any young person to get unless you went through everything I went through. And I'm thankful for that opportunity. I also grew up in the church, like I said, and my dad and my mom really forced me into the choir. So I learned to be in front of people for so long. And up to now, people ask me to be MC. I traveled around. I recently MC'd a wedding. I'm an artist. People ask me for advice online and in real life. My job, I mentor and give advices, and I'm seeking also a degree in that field as well. So now imagine coming with that background, and now I have married from Africa, a man who's traditional, and also he's an Adventist. I'm also an Adventist. So imagine all that, right? And why I say that, because I want you to understand that even the African men who are in America, they go to Africa and get married because the women who are in Africa are traditional and they like that. I was born in the city, my husband is born in the village. Yes, he went to school, he got his bachelor degree, he's in the medical field, he has that knowledge and wisdom, but he did grow up in the village. I'm not saying in a sense of like uh is a bad thing, but I'm just saying in a traditional environment. He grew up in traditional environment. Yes, he went and worked in the city and everything. He has that experience, but again, he still valued those tradition. So do you see the dynamic, the difference between his raising and my raising, right? Now we're married. Um, Even when how my dad raises, so when we have issues in the family, we sit together and my dad will ask us about our opinion. So my dad never put a fear in us that we can't talk to him as a man. So I express exactly how I feel. Um, and you know, my dad always gave me freedom. So I never really had that fear like, oh, I can't talk to this person. I can't talk to this person. No, I can talk to anybody. Right. So in my head, there are things that where I was doing, I thought it was respectful, where my husband perspective that is disrespectful. But he had to take God to teach me. And how he taught me was I was on watching a video on YouTube, and I came across this video. This man was talking about how to respect a man. He's an African, I think he's Kenyan or South African, something like that. I'll link the video below so you can watch it. Please send it to your sisters and everybody, okay? Because we're learning together. And he mentioned things that honestly, guys, I'm gonna be honest with you right now because I want to be honest. I'm not perfect, okay? But when I watched that video, I literally did 80% to 90% of those things. 80 to 90% of those things. There was a moment, sometime in my lifetime with my husband, the years I've been with him, there was a time when I did these things. Then I told myself, this is so funny. I said to myself, if this is what respect and submission is, I wasn't ready for marriage, and I'm not even ready for marriage now. What? What? Now, why will I say I'm not even married ready for marriage now? Because it's something that it was hard for me to accept. It was really something hard for me to accept. So I had to sit down and really ask God to really help me accept these things because they're really tough. You know, I'm used to this authority. Now I'm told to come down and submit to this authority when I'm used to. I started working since I was 11 years old, making money, providing. When my dad was in Egypt with us, I worked Ushin. I had to lie that I was 12 because in Egypt you can start working when you're 12, but not 11. I lied that I was 12, start working, helping my mom pay rent. I would stay with them for 30 days, and then a few days later, I'll come home. I missed school, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And even in the US, I started working when I was in a young age as well. I I paid for my school, private school. I started living by myself um, young, paying bills, so taking that responsibility. So you know what I mean. Now I have to be under somebody, and I'm more westernized than I thought. I thought I was very African until I went to Africa. That's when I realized I'm very westernized. So now imagine all that in my head. And now submission and respect says come down and submit here. It was hard pill to swallow. Why is it hard for why I even said I'm not ready for marriage at that time? Because it was hard for me to accept and it was really hard for me to even hear. And I'm gonna revisit that video because I asked for God for grace. And that's when I realized if you really want to submit, if you want to really show respect to your husband, it's something that you really have to pray about, especially if it's hard, if it's something you didn't grow up with, you have to pray about it. But what caught my attention in that video, okay? He said some women are the one who turn their husband away from them. He said there are men who hate their wife or hate their woman or their heart turned from those people because of what this woman did to him to disrespect him in no return. So he's saying that some of these men, like women, he said that some women will complain, oh, my husband doesn't talk to me anymore. My husband doesn't do this with me anymore. Everything is so robot. But he's asking that when it comes to respect, men value that like how we value love. The Bible specifically and clearly asks us women to submit and respect our husband. The Bible never asks us to love them. The Bible asks them to love us and give himself to us. as Christ gave himself to the church. Do you see? So this is something God put in them, that no matter what we do, we will never leave them. So he said there's things that women did to their husband that now turn their husband's heart away from them. There are men will divorce a woman because he feels disrespected. There are men who still married, but brain, maybe they're even cheating out there. Again, with the cheating though, some people just cheat because they want to cheat. Okay, so don't think because your husband is cheating that is because you're disrespectful. It may not be the case, but I'm just saying there are some men who go out there to find somebody else who respect them and leave you. It doesn't mean what he did is right. Understand? I never justify what they're doing. Wrong is wrong, even if I did wrong. It doesn't mean you have to do wrong back, okay? Because adultery is a sin. Now, he said he had a friend that their marriage were failing, and he begged his friend, because he's a marriage and family therapist, and he begged his friend, please don't leave your wife. He said, no, there's nobody in this world can change my mind. And then he asked himself, what made him become like that? He said, because she's very disrespectful. And then he listed those things. So I'm going to give you some things, okay? He said, what is disrespect to me? And I love this video because he really broke it down in what disrespect is. Again, please watch the video because I don't have every details and I haven't watched it since last time. One of the things that I remember he said, and as a woman, by the way, as I'm speaking, I want you to hear, is some of these things I have done, ask yourself that question, are some of these things I have done, does this resonate with me? Is this something I did? Is this something going on in my life right now? Is this something going on in my home right now? He said there's some marriages, or there's some husbands, there's still chance for you to save him from him hating you like that. There's still people that you can turn them back to you. So as women, we need to start asking ourselves, one of the major reason South Sudanese men are going back to Africa is because they feel the women back home are respecting them. One, respecting them. Two, they're not competing with them in authority or in that um, um, gender role. As I stated before, we become too masculine. We became too masculine in the Western world. And trust me, yes, environment, situation pushed us to be masculine. And sometimes even our own husband has pushed us to be masculine. I get it, right? But God is speaking about us right now. I don't want to focus so much on what they're doing, right? We're competing with them in authority. We want to be men, but we want to have a man. And I know there's a reason, guys, but we have to speak it as is right now. I can feel people's feeling through this camera even before I posted this video. Someone are gonna beat me up. We want to be men. We want to be men. We want to make decisions alone. Okay? We want to fight physically, emotionally, psychological to men. Somebody said when you start fighting with a man back and forth, he no longer sees you as a woman, by the way. And that hit me hard. I was like, oh shoot. When you come face to face with a man, he no longer sees you as a woman. He sees you as you are a man trying to fight him. And some men will fight back. We want to fight men, want to beat up men. We belittle them like we talk to them like children. God talked to me a lot about things, a lot. He changed me. Okay. We talk to men like children. We become like their mom. Do this, don't do that. You know, I told myself I no longer tell my husband what to do. I told myself I don't even want to tell him what I need. If he doesn't feel I need this, I don't want to be the one to tell you. I want him to think freely. This is what Amna needs. It took me long to get to this point because before I'm like, and now it sounds like I'm nagging. Yes, there's two sides to everything, but I'm talking about women right now, guys. I cannot mention so much the other side because this is about women. I no longer now ask for things. I want him to think, what does my wife need? Because if I am telling him all the time, this is what I need, it will never stick because it has to come from you to stick. You have to go to God and say, okay, or even be like, okay, what does my wife need? And that has to be with everybody. So as women, we talk to men like they're children and then we expect them to remain. I'm not justifying cheating, guys. But a lot of the South Sudanese men are going to South Sudan to get married or any part of Africa to get married because the woman there allows them to feel superior, allows them to feel as a man, allow them to feel as needed. They respect them, they listen to them. They may give a suggestion like, hey, I don't think this would this, but his word is final. Even if people end up failing because of what he said, but his word is final. You know, I used to think women, I used to really think and say, why would our older women remain in marriages that it wasn't healthy for them? Now that I grew up, I realized some of these women really don't understand marriage. Women that stuck through thick and thin. Some men cheated, shunu shunu, they still remained. These women really understand marriage. In good and bad, these women understood that part. They remained in that marriage, even in bad. Again, I'm not telling you stay in an abusive situation, but I'm speaking. These women that I thought that we as a new generation think they're crazy for staying in bad marriages and whatever, whatever, whatever. These women really understood marriage. They stuck through it. Now those women that remained and stayed, and it doesn't mean they stayed because they're happy. No, they sacrificed their own happiness for the children, things like that. But those women I really come to respect. They stuck through. They knew what marriage is. They know what marriage is. And they stuck through. And they continue to respect men. That's why their men never left them. That's why their man can go and cheat with somebody else, will come back home because he knows the respect this woman give him, no one out there can give him. Men need respect. Men need respect. So when we are seeing our husbands, our brothers are leaving to Africa, we have to ask ourselves, Ya Jamana, what is in Africa that we don't have here? It's respect. They don't compete. Their men are placed high. They're seen as men, providers, leaders. From children to up, even grandma will bow down to a man. Men there feel valued. Even if they bring something small to the table, they're still valued. Somebody said once, you don't respect a man because what he does. You respect because God said respect him regardless. He's a man already. He comes with that what is that word? He comes with that already. So it's like this, regardless what my husband does, I have to respect him. Why? Because he's a husband. He's a man regardless. And it took me a minute to really accept that. Because I'm like, what? You know, some people will even say like respect should only go to certain people because the characteristic. But I'm starting to believe that respect should still be given because they're building that authority regardless of what they're doing. It doesn't mean their character is good. Trust me, okay? But God said we have to respect them. He didn't say only when they're good. He just said respect them. Okay? But don't be abused either. Don't put yourself in an abusive situation where you're gonna end up dying. Okay, that's different. Please don't go over these other things. I want you to don't say, "Oh, I'm gonna say respect and remain." No, I'm saying, ask God for discernment. Okay. So when our men go to Africa and get married, they're going to a woman who respect them. يا جماعة أنا جاي نقول لكم كلام بعربي. Vagina is vagina. ده ما ذاته عربي. ده إنجليزي. Because Arabic is a little sad. But what makes us different is how we make a man feel. Some men will leave a beautiful woman. That's what the guy said. Some will leave a beautiful woman who's respected by the community, who's the tapra in the gurush, in the shunu, everything that every other man out there wants, but he would leave her for somebody less than because he feel respected. Ooh, the devil is a liar. That's how important this thing is I'm talking about. That's why sometimes the shoes راجل بخلي مرة حلو يلا downgrade, and they were like, why did he downgrade? Shouldn't he upgrade? But believe me, this guy is a king in that house. Even when he doesn't do his duty as a king, the woman still respect him. The guy said, when we talk to men like children, that's the most disrespect. Another disrespect he said, which I found myself doing, we do this with our girlfriends. And sometimes we do it in a way without even thinking. But now that I heard it, I now cautious. You find yourself when we women gather around, then we talk about our husband. Oh, my husband does this, my husband don't do this. انت بتسمع زولك بقول انت بتزيد بتاعك. Let me change this. I think the light is changing. Then we add our own in it. They said when you belittle your husband or your man publicly, is disrespect. How many of us did that? Oh. When we what? Publicly قدام ناس. Even worse when he's around. And then like, شوف ده كمان ودير شنو. Around his friends, other men friend, if you disrespect him like that, girl, you better start packing your stuff and leave. And if he stays, he will never see you the same. His mind is already if you're not married to him, he's already thinking about other woman. يوم ده كده he's already thinking about مرة تاني. من يوم ده disrespecto قدام رجال تانيين, that's the day already راسه ماشي لمرة تاني. Ego to man, if you broke that, if you break that, if you want to survive, you have to stroke it. Oh, my husband, I'm so thankful you're a hard worker. قدام ناس كمان, huh? Oh, راجلي كويس. I heard this before, and many Sudanese women say this, Jamani. We have to now start listening. That devil is a liar. When a woman Sudanese give advice في كنيسة اسمه, مرة قال شنو؟ قال يا بناتي حاجاتك في البيت ده ما تطلعوا برا. سكر الحاجة الرجال حاجات الراجل ده بعمل كاب ده ما توديه برا، امسكوا. I now understand. Because when now your husband, ajere, really the damage, I'm telling you guys, is too much. It would take your husband long time to let go of that, or your boyfriend or whatever. Okay? So disrespecting him, belittling him, even private or public, you know, talking to him like a child, you know, downgrading him or belittling him and talking bad about him in front of people or private. Okay. Another thing that he mentioned, he says, the worst disrespect you can do to a man when he comes to you with a vision and you don't believe in that vision. He gave an example from the Bible. I forgot which example he gave about a woman. Abraham. When Abraham had to pack and go and move, his wife followed. The idea sound crazy. We're moving to a different land. She knew we were leaving everything. She went. She moved with him. Even later, he claimed she was the sister, but she still followed. And then he said, how many of you women, if a husband of yours or your boyfriend came to you and said, this is my dream, or God said, we need to move here, would you go? Hey, even me, I said no. Would you drop everything and go? He said, that's the most disrespect you can do. When you don't believe in a man's vision. Now, some dreams and vision look crazy. Pray to God for discernment. Advice. Maybe, I'm seeing this, but I'm going to trust what you say. And he may fail, but now he will learn to trust you. That too, I had to learn it. I'm a type of person, like I said, I'm the oldest. I'm used to being in control. I'm used to being in control. Literally, I'm used to being in control. Now I have to learn to let him lead. It's the toughest thing in the world. Toughest thing. The guy said men love when you appreciate them, even if it's small, oh. Even if it's something that he's supposed to do, paying bills, shunu, you still make him feel like it's the biggest thing. Oh, thank you for filling my gas. Oh, you're the best man. Ita shunu. Ah, Gidamnas Rajil Tai quiz. May God bless him. Oh, another thing he said that is disrespectful is talking to your family members and his family members about him. Woo, the devil. How many of us did that? My husband this, my husband this, my husband this. They say we will forgive. Somebody said that couple will forgive each other, but family will never forget. I had to learn the hard way. Don't learn the hard way. Find a trusted person or a counselor or somebody that you guys can trust together and go to them for advice. But family, you know? So that's another form of disrespect to them. Very disrespect. Okay? He will start thinking about somebody else. Okay? So I learned these things. Even now, the way I pray is different. The way I pray for my husband is different. Um, Another thing that I noticed um, as a woman, okay, and every woman is different. And this other woman shared something with me too. She does that. She said, even though she's working, and again, I'm not telling you to do this, do what is in your capacity, and you guys as a team work together. But this is something I realized. In my husband village, women took care of all the house. But I grew up where we share things. Man and woman share things. And in a minute, there was a time where I was kind of trying to force my husband into that ideology. But later I realized actually my husband preferred that I take care of the house stuff all of it, because that's what he grew up with. So I learned to adjust. I learned to adjust and accept that, hey, the way I can please my husband and add value and add joy to him is by making sure that I take care of my gender role things without him even expecting. And one thing I learned too is that I'm not doing things to please him. Woman, come close. I don't want to do things to please him in a sense like I'm doing this thing so he can see that I'm a good wife. No, I just want to do it to do it. Why I say that? Because when you find yourself you're doing things for somebody, they would disappoint you and then you're going to lose that skill. So sometimes I clean because I like clean environment. So I make sure I clean. I make sure, I cook food, things like that. So that he doesn't feel like he's taking my role. So as a woman, I know everybody's working. I know everybody's working. But there's this woman who work and still does more than, which I was like, wow. She shares so much with me. I was at all like, what? This woman, she takes care of all of her house, everything. Her husband doesn't touch house things, even though she's working. Oh, she makes sure her duty as a woman is done. And her husband values her like crazy. He would never go to another woman. And even if he does, he would never leave her because no one would do these things. So I'm encouraging us as women, let's go back to that. I know it's a lot. I know it's a lot because me, imagine I'm in school, I'm working full time, and I make sure these things are still happening. I don't want to lose being a woman. I don't want to lose being a wife. I don't want to go away from my duty as a wife. I want to be a wife. So I'm encouraging us today as a woman, let's go back to that place of being feminine, not to lose what God created us to be. We are helpers, Jamana. Let's remind that to ourselves. Oh, we're helpers. That's the first thing God created us to do, to be helpers. I know there's many ways of doing. Trust me, there's many questions I hear in people's head, but man's supposed to help us. I know that. God knows that. I know that myself. I preach about it every day. But I'm talking about us today, guys, without them involved. Let's go back to that. Being woman again. Keeping ourselves clean. Don't forget yourself. Take care of yourself. I know, guys, it's hard. And I know because I don't have children yet, I don't know the struggle of children. And one day when I have children, I will come talk to you guys about the struggle of children. But now, I'm just a wife. So I'm speaking to you guys as a wife. I know it's hard. I know it's hard. For people who work, they have children, everything. But we can't lose ourselves. Men love through the eyes. We love through the ears. That's why الراجل بيقول لنا حاجة حلو men see us first that we're attractive, then they go talk to us. They don't hear our voice, then talk to us. They see us, then talk to us. We hear men, then, we have to keep up with ourselves, Yamana. Shave, بخور في بيت. ما تلبس جلابية all the time. راجلك لو بحب جلابية no problem. Sleep naked. يالو في بس في جوار النوم naked. Thank you, my husband. Massage. Don't just always wait for him to do things. You do things too. You call and check on him. You do those romantic things too. Don't just always wait for him, guys. You also have to show him that you appreciate him. Love him. Pray for him. Uplift him in front of people. And let him know, hey, babe, this thing really hurt me. But I'm not going to disrespect you because you hurt me. But I just want you to know this thing really hurt me. We have to be the grown-up people. I know your husband is the grown-up, but we have to be the grown-up regardless. Because when we try to not be the grown-up, shit hit the fan. Because men make a lot of excuses to their disrespect, but when our disrespect happens, they don't forget it. So because ours has more impact, let's learn to handle it differently. Let's always be the grown up. I know it sounds bad. We don't want to always be the grown up. You know بيقولوا زول لو نزل نفسه تهدي ما تنزل نفسك كمان انت مش عارف عفو. Let's always think like that. That's what I decided to do. I always be the bigger person. I'm still learning. I fail every day, but I pick up. I say, what can I learn from this? What is my husband trying to say in this? How can I show him I respect him here? When my husband come every day, I welcome back. Because that's what he's used to. In Uganda, he's married. Ajumani, all those women kneeling down. My husband is used to people serving him food. My husband is used to women doing everything. My husband is used to more than one meal a day. So I can't come and bring him to the Western world and I want to change everything. I tried that. Didn't work well. Oh, didn't work well. So I decided, you know what? Let me not change those things. Let me change myself to be these things. Not because to just please him. I want to do these things to please God. I want to do what God called me to do. I want to go before God and say, God, I have done everything what you call me to do. I may have failed here and there, not perfect, but I wanted to do it. And don't do things just because of your husband, because he will disappoint you and you will stop. Change that happened because of you want to please somebody, it doesn't last. That's why you have to say, when I'm cleaning, I'm not just cleaning for him. I want to clean for myself. When I'm cooking this good food, I'm not just cooking for him. I want to cook good for me. I don't want just to respect him just for him. I want to respect because this is who I am. I'm a respectful person. I don't want to just, be positive because of him. I want to be a positive person. Do you understand the difference? But let's come back and be that woman again. Okay? Get your hair done. Okay? Take care of your skin. Put a little bit makeup. Always, let me tell you guys, and I know this may sound crazy, but I always take care of myself like I'm competing with these young people. My husband is 4 years younger than me. So I'm always thinking like, I want to compete. I never want to look old because I'm already old. You know what I'm saying? I want to look younger than him. Ooh, there's a storm coming. Oh my gosh. Florida been raining every single day. It's crazy. It's moving in like crazy. I can see it in the back. So it's gonna get dark here, okay? But coming back to topic, always think about you want to compete. I know it sounds crazy. You want to compete with those young women for yourself, not just because of him, right? Exercise, go on a walk, keep your body together. Keep your body together. Enhance whatever you need to enhance. You know what I'm saying? There's secret things from the past that the older women used to do to beautify themselves. Learn those things. If you don't have money to go get beautified ways, still find a cheap way to do it. But beautify yourself. Always want to look attractive to your husband. Read the book of Psalms. No, the songs of Psalms. The way it was describing the woman, beauty. Beauty. We want to look attractive to them. We want to respect. Let's come back to that womanhood. Clean. It's hard to do, but throw things that you don't want around in the house, guys. When you have so much things in the house, believe me, it'd be very hard to clean. I throw things every 6 months. Every 6 months, I throw things away. Don't have one of the things, Yamana. The reason I'm saying this because how many men I heard. I used to ask this man randomly, what do you guys want in a woman? Should. Even married men, they're like, we hate when the dish is dirty. My husband actually, it's funny, he brought that up. Being busy with school, ukida, there's days where I used to leave the dishes in the sink, but now I don't do that, by the way, because I heard him. Um, he said to me, I remember when we started dating, one of the things I really liked the fact that you said you don't let dishes stay overnight, or like you don't have the house is not dirty. But these days I'm seeing a lot of dishes. It sounds crazy, sounds, to our Western world, like, what the heck, shouldn't you be helping me? He's also busy, right? But he liked that I was taking care of household things. Um, so I took that like, my husband like when he comes home that the dishes are put away, clean, and now I do that. And I find a way that it will fit in with my schedule. Okay. But then even when I start doing that, I didn't do it because just him. I said to myself, this really who I was. I don't keep dishes around. I want to go back to that self. Even when my husband is not home, I keep those dishes clean because this is me. Because if I'm only doing to my husband when he's not around, then I'm gonna keep dirty dishes. You know what I'm saying? I make sure that at the end of the night before I go to sleep, the dishes are washed. Does it happen 100%? No. There was one day I didn't do that because I came from a wedding and I was so tired. I went to sleep. But majority of the time it is. Okay? Here, when your husband is complaining, what is he complaining? Anything that he's complaining about, he wants you to change it or he wants more of it. So he's like, oh, like when he said something about this, he's like, oh, one of the things I liked is that you keep the house clean, things like that. He's saying he wants that again. Oh, in this area you don't show me respect. He's asking me to respect him. You understand what I'm saying? Learn that language. Be quick to listen. Ask God for grace to change for better for him, you and God, because you're obligated to God to answer to him. I cannot go to God and be like, oh, because my husband did this, that's why I did this. No, it's not gonna work. So I have to make sure that I do my duty because I will answer to God. God asked me that commandment. We are helpers. I know helpers doesn't mean that we just sit down and be quiet. We can give advices like Ruth, how she went to her husband and gave an advice. She saved the nation. There's times like that when we have to do, but she did it respectfully. One of the things that I'm learning, oh, another thing that my husband said that I am now learning, the tone, how we talk, the tone. The tone can belittle them or uplift them. So like if I'm saying, oh, this I need this and this, how I talk to him may make him feel belittled. If I'm yelling, if I'm raising my voice, if I'm commanding, you just have to learn the art of those village ladies. They talk softly, they don't lose their femininity. They learn, oh, like I remember there were stories when they say, oh, before you ask your husband something انت بتاخد حاجه تحت قران قريب انت بتجيب حاجات كده يلا تيجي تسال ابوه oh ابو يالي oh may God bless you انت بتاكل راسه تاكل يلا تجيب يلا بدو. Some women know how to talk to their husband. We need to learn to do that. Okay, I'm learning to do that. So the tone, all these things that I mentioned, again, I didn't mention everything. Please watch the video below to make sure that you watch it, especially if you're a woman. If you're in that situation where your marriage is falling or has fallen and you want to raise it up again, there's a way to win a man back, but we have to humble ourselves to that level. I know it's not easy. I know it's not easy. Oh. It's not easy. And I even told myself, if that's what respect is, I'm not ready for marriage because I'm not ready to do that. But I had to humble myself. I have to pray. And God is humbling me. There's days when I'm like, okay, I'm not. I think in my head, I was like, okay, let your husband finish. Ooh, letting men finish. Ooh, wee, baby. When they talk, you don't interrupt. You quiet, let them finish. That's what my husband grew up with. So now imagine I come in the house, I'm interrupting. It's not easy. Oh, I'm learning that. I'm quick to interrupt. Even now I'm in a residency here, we're learning how to listen. My brain today twist kida because I'm used to that. People asking me things. People give me chances. I'm even talking to you guys for 44 minutes right now. Now I have to wait till my husband finish 3-4 sentence and then he's repeating himself 3-4 times. Wee! I'm sitting there like itching. There's days when I do well, there's days when I fail, but I always try to improve. Ladies, let your husband finish. Let him finish. And then when you talk softly. Oh, you know okay, baba. Some people call their husband baba. Abu Ali, babe, حاجات كده بدلع. I'm learning that too, okay? Because I've been very masculine for a long time. Now imagine I'm trying to be feminine. It's not easy. There's an art to femininity. Mainly men go for feminine women. They don't want an alpha woman. Hmm? They need to feel they're the one with brain, they're the one with power, they're the one with authority. You stroke it, stroke his ego. This man will, even if he cheat, he will never leave you. Because even the people he's cheating with, they will disrespect him. They will still come back to you. You know how many men cheat out there just for fun things, but they'll come back to the woman he's married to because that woman respect him. Okay, so let us come back. I'm learning with you. Learn with me. Let's ask God for grace. I'm not perfect. If you ask my husband right now, a lot, he'll be like, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things I'm gonna need to work on. The other day, somebody's like, oh, I'm not. I wish I was there before you got married to marry. I was like, I may look attractive to you because what I say, you get to know me once in a minute. But if you live with me every day, you actually come to find I have flaws. I have a lot of issues. Okay, because you don't live with me every day to see. But I'm learning, okay, by Guy Grace. So let us learn together. Let us learn to be feminine. Okay, before all the students for Africa, let us take care of ourselves, clean ourselves. You see all those women in Africa when they are married, henna, shunu shunu. Let's do those things. Ito maganda henna, halawa, wax once in a while, lingerie, shar, mabaruka all the time. You know what I learned to do? I used to just when I'm home, this Muslim guy said, he said, why will women just dress up just to go to parties, but home they look homeless? He said, I want my wife to dress up for me too. Now I learned to even look beautiful at home. The things I wear, I look ready all the time. Shari look good fi barra wa jua. I smell good in the house and outside. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna khud bukhur a lot. I I spray myself sometime. But even if I don't, I smell good. I shower in the morning and I shower at night. And if I don't shower in either night or morning, that day I will do one of them. If I don't do both of them, I do one of them. Believe me. Okay. Anyways, I hope I didn't prolong this video. I hope I shared everything that God put in my heart to share. Again, I'm learning with you. Please, if this resonate with you, comment below. If you're a woman, tell me what you feel. If you're a man, tell me how you feel. Let's share this together and grow together. So today was about women. Um, and maybe the next one will be about men again. But now you can never say I never spoke to a woman. Amen. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next video.